Did you know that there are 5 words that actually make women think about sex? And if you know how to use them, you can get her in that mindset. So having conversation lead to a point where it's a little bit more risque actually gets her more comfortable with you sexually. Just understand that the idea is to never explicitly talk about sex. That's gonna completely creep a woman out. Instead, it has to get there and escalate there slowly. Let's go over the 5 words right now, which are basically topics. I'm gonna give you examples of how to use them, but wait until the end because I'm gonna give you more context in how you can use some of these words, phrases, and questions to make it so it goes smoothly. The first word is wild. Okay, so we're using this word in some sentences that are gonna be able to ask her questions and get to know her wild side, her more risque side, her fun side. And the questions I have here are going to help start to open up some more of that side of her that's a little bit more fun. And you never know, this could start leading to more conversations that actually have to do with a wild sexual experience. Of course, you're not gonna ask her that. Instead, you're gonna ask her these. What's the wildest thing that you've ever done? What's the wildest thing you've ever done while traveling? What's the wildest thing you've ever done with your friends? This is very risque because it could bring up a sensitive topic, but it could lead to something good. So you can say, what's the wildest thing that you've ever done with an ex? And she might be answering these more vanilla, but still it opens the door to a more interesting conversation that can go sexual. Okay, let's go to the second word, which is party. Now we're gonna combine some words. What's the wildest thing you've ever done at a party? When's the last time you stayed up all night partying? What's the craziest party you've ever been to? Again, these are now questions that you can be asking that is leaning more towards a wild side, fun. Things happen at parties, hookups happen at parties, hookups happen after parties. You never know where that can lead. She might be asking you back some of these questions, which this is a real cool part about this. She asks you these questions back. You can even say to her, ooh, I'd love to answer that, but I don't know, it's a little bit R-rated. And then you can get a sense of where she's at. If she's like, oh, well then I don't want to hear it, she's not comfortable yet. But if she's like, oh, it is, oh, tell me, I want to know, I have to know. Now you're starting to go to a more sexual side and you can tell her the R-rated story that you have. But again, you have to be graceful with this. Don't go too explicit or else it might turn her off. Now the next word is secret. Before I give you some ideas about the word secret, I also just want to remind you that in just a bit, I'm going to explain where these questions can come from, how you can actually set up these questions. So don't worry, there is a method to this madness. Okay, so secret, the third word. What are some questions you can ask for that? I have 2 really good ones. 1, what's the biggest secret that you've ever kept from your parents? 2, have you ever secretly snuck in anywhere? By the way, come up with your own if you'd want to. You can steal these, but you can do anything with wild, party, and secret, anything that you've come up with. Again, we're trying to get to a more risque, more wild side of her, and that's why we're bringing this up, because that can eventually lead to more topics about potential sexual things. Hence why I love the word secret, because things that are sexual, that are more risque, they're more secretive. So we're starting to go down that road. Now let's go to number 4. I'm actually increasingly getting a little bit more risque. Number 4, the word is kiss. Kiss is obviously a more sexual word. So here are some questions you can say. You can say, have you ever kissed a girl? What's the quickest that you've ever kissed a guy from the point that you met him? And these are questions that can be asked, by the way, potentially on a date, if it makes sense. Again, I'll give you some context in a bit. You can even do it on an approach. And also the key is gonna be follow-up questions. So following up, getting more details, asking questions that come to your mind based on what she's saying, so then it lends itself to a more sexual conversation. Number 5, which is going along with the word kiss, is hookup. And I love this word because it's not as explicit as the word sex. It's a little bit softer, but you can still go down a road that's talking about that. So you can say, what's the craziest place that you've ever had a hookup? What's the fastest that you've ever hooked up with a guy? That one's tough. I don't know if she's gonna give you a real answer or not, but it doesn't really matter. Again, we're just trying to get her in that mindset. Now what you've been waiting for. How do we actually just say these questions? Of course, you can just say the question. You can just come out with it. But if you want a smoother start to this, there is a little trick. You can say, hey, let's play a quick game. It's called Truth or Truth, as opposed to Truth or Dare. So it's about asking questions that are hard to answer. So you're setting up that context where you can basically say to her, again, Maybe you do this on a date. Maybe you do this on an approach if you've been talking to her for about like 10 minutes or so. Say, hey, let's play truth or truth. In fact, you can go first. So you're giving her the ability and control to go first, where it's not just you trying to ask some crazy questions. Then you can have some of these questions, memorize some of them, or questions revolving the words that I'm saying to start to have more of that fun conversation. The reason why you might use a context like this and use a kind of a game like this to set it up, well, A, it's gonna be more fun, it's gonna build more intrigue to what's going on, it's gonna suck her in more, but also some of these questions, because they're a little bit more personal, might be weird to just say it on the spot. Although you can, if you have a good conversation going and you felt you've built some real good rapport. And you have to make sure that you're flirting while you're doing all of this, because if you're not flirting, then it's not gonna make the whole conversation as risque and fun and build that attraction. If you wanna learn more about flirting, there is a video I put in the description, or it should be showing up in the screen, that's actually gonna have a woman who's going to practice flirting with you. And if you want to learn how to get more dates, how to flirt with women, and actually have an instructor teach you how to do it, book a free call at tripadvicecoaching.com. We'll chat with you and see how we can help you today.